Williams. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking.
Thank you again for allowing me in your space. This is Melvin Williams of Spirit, Massage, and Body Work.
Yep. Where you release your stress, relax your mind.
Say that again.
Release your stress, relax your mind.
Oh, is that one of your mottos
That's
as
the
well?
tagline for the business. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
That is so awesome. So, again, this is Groove and Grind with Stacy Brooks. This is our second session with Melvin, and we're going to get started with what got you interested in massage therapy specifically.
Actually, there was not really one thing that
Okay.
got me interested in massage. I didn't even think I was going to be in massage. Had no idea or even direction for massage. Because everybody wants to know, is there a root or some motivation, somebody inspired you or something? No,
Okay.
none of that. Just straight out, none of that. It really came out of a necessity. So, on the end of my 10-year contract with the Marine Corps, um, I basically had a choice to make: go another 10 years or continue on with other lifelong pursuits or goals. So, what I wanted to do was pursue the second option, which is continue my education, continue on looking for like building a business.
Right.
And so, and on my house one day, that was like the short list.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I said, well, the only way to keep me in the area is to find a job and then also to reduce the chances that if that job didn't work, that I have a business to make sure that I have to fall back on. Said, okay, well, let's go with the build a business. And I brainstormed it. And I came up with at least three things that it had to be. First, it had to help people because that's what I love, being around people and helping them. The second thing, it had to be creative, so I can be able to create new things, be artistic with it, and have the freedom and flexibility, not the rigidity of
Mhm.
have to have a 9 to 5 sales pitch. Got to do something specific in order to make it work.
Right.
And it does have structure, but you have the freedom. And the third thing is it had to be transferable, meaning I can pick this whole thing up and move it somewhere else, no matter where it is, in the States, out of the States. I have the whole idea and platform. So put that in my supercomputer here,
Hmm.
and eventually just went to looking around to see if I could find, hey, put it up to the heavens, say my prayers and everything, and say point me in the right direction. nothing, nothing jive because at that time, everybody knows that you had you could sell Amway or you could sell Avon, and,
Right.
and neither one or insurance. And I was like, none
Right.
of Prime America and all that other stuff.
Right.
No, none of that stuff was even close to what I wanted. So I went looking. Someone told me look in the paper
Hmm.
for some ideas. So I said, okay. I grabbed the Washington Post, and then we also had the Marine Corps Times. At the back where the classified was, I was just looking for jobs at the time, and I came across an ad that caught my attention with massage. I was like,
Oh.
huh. And it really caught my attention when in the ad it said you can pay for it with the GI Bill. So I was like, huh, okay, two. All
Right.
right, there we go. Something new and something that meets all the three requirements that I was thinking about. And I said, I had never really thought about massage besides the only memory I ever had was my mother used to work in a retired assistance, retired assistant or like old folks home,
Right.
basically.
Right.
She come home after 8 hours. She just like rub my feet. And so
Oh.
it's like, okay, well, rub your feet. Okay, am I doing okay? It's like, just keep doing what you're doing. That's all she used to tell me.
Oh.
So that was the only massage.
That's your first.
Yeah, that's my first
Your
massage.
first client.
Yeah. So I went through the paper, called the folks up, went through the process of getting to the school. At that time, I had already found a full time job in IT, and so I decided to go while I went to reserves and Marine Corps, and then I started the school. It was 5 days a week, like 5 hours, and then 5 to 10 at night, did that for 6 months. And after I graduated, it was like, okay, now I got all this technique and I got all these skills that I learned. And I learned all about the muscles anatomy and everything when I was studying. Everybody was like, are you becoming a doctor? You know, because you
Right.
have to learn all the different body systems and all the processes and stuff. And I was like, no, this is all for massage.
Right.
And just taking the test to get the license. Did I pass on the first time? No. I had to go back because I was too nervous.
Mm-hmm.
So I had test anxiety. So I passed the second time. And from then, that was the beginning of the business at that point. Once you have your license, and what do you do now? Because I didn't have the studio I have now.
Right.
I went down the trunk of my car. Just put that massage table in the trunk of the car, slapped some business magnets on the side, and got with Vistaprint, get some business cards designed,
Mm-hmm.
and start handing them out. I tried everything. Word of mouth, it was the first bit, and trying to get people stimulated, and because you don't have no help, not like you do now.
Right.
Now you got franchises you can go to, when you come out of school. Then you are on your own. You start your own business. You are a 1099 contractor. Soon as you start to hit the road.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you do, whatever energy you put into it is what you get out of it.
Right.
So if you're not on the road, if you're not hustling, if you're not going for the grind, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. You're not going to get, sitting down is not going to keep you fed. So I've been doing massage for 20 plus years now. So time goes by. You don't get any, you get, people ask me, how many massages do I do in a day? And I said, well, between 5 and 8, depending on the length of the massage. If it's an hour, I never have a row of 1 hour massages.
Mm-hmm.
Those days are gone. Now it's like 90 minutes. The most I do is 2 hour massages.
Wow.
And they're like, how do you keep your hands from being tired? Well, you have to, just like anything else, you have to, when you take on your craft, you have to know how to do your maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Body maintenance, even when you're doing a massage, you're not trying to wear yourself out because you have a lot more to go through.
Right.
So that's pretty much it's been, from the trunk of my car is where I named because I used to drive a Dodge Spirit. That's where the name come from.
Right.
So Dodge Spirit Massage, and it's been in the office as well as mobile
Right.
as well. And then people ask me, where do you go? I said, let me make that clear for you. If you're willing to pay
Right.
for me to travel,
Mm-hmm.
I will you
Right.
with table
Right.
and oils.
Right.
So if you're in New York and you want me to come,
Right.
hotel room,
Right.
airline ticket, everything contracted, I'll be there. I'll do the massage and come on back. And I come back as many times as you want. We set that up.
That's
So,
good.
yeah, I've done it in people's homes in the area. And I tell them, I say local areas, Baltimore,
Right.
all the way down to Richmond. So make feel free to book your appointment or reach out to us.
So before we go to the next segment, tell us what your website is so that they can book their appointment.
Spiritmassage.com. The only one. And I have the spiritmassage.com. There are other variants of other businesses
Mm-hmm.
that have used that name. They add different words to it. And I like those clients because they get frustrated by going to the wrong place and they end up here.
That's
And
good.
and
That's
I said,
good.
well, hey, look, I can massage you now. I have time. Now, I don't take walk-ins. I do by appointment only.
Okay.
So that's clear. And if you don't, the biggest issue I think people have had is they're like, I need to talk to someone. I said, well, I don't have all the time to talk. What I have is you can schedule appointments,
Mhm.
Online, or you can use the contact page that we have there
Right.
in order to set up the information that we need in order to go into the calendar in order to do the booking for you.
Right. Got
If you want to sit down and talk on the phone,
it.
I will tell you. You can schedule an appointment with me and we'll do a consultation. First one will be free and the next one's on you.
Right. Right. Okay. So what else? I mean, what are you in school for now? I know I talked to you before and you were talking about acupuncture. So are
Yes.
you in school for acupuncture now?
Yes, I am, and I'm about to finish. So I've been in school at MUIH, which is Maryland University Integrative Health. That was acquired by Notre Dame. So that's Notre Dame of Maryland University.
Mm-hmm.
So they have acquired the program, but they're not going to continue the program, unfortunately. Oh,
That's crazy. That's weird.
so yeah, so they brought the school,
Mm-hmm.
and the programs that they're not going to continue is they're not going to continue the herbal, um, herbology component, as well as the acupuncture component, because it requires instructors
Right.
and physical time, and also a clinic that they held where clients could come in, and which I've invited you to as well.
Right. Right.
Okay,
Right.
and basically you can't beat the price. It was $55 for a session. A normal session for acupuncture is like 130,
Oh, I know.
or up to $200 depending on where you live.
Yeah, I used to go on Seminary Road
Yeah,
to the acupuncturist over there.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so I'm in school for that. And it's been a 3-year program, master's program, at MUH right now. And I'm still seeing a couple of clients. Victory lap was I had a person, and I know it works. So if people like, oh, yeah, I don't think that works.
It
You're
does.
just sticking
It does
sticking
work.
needles in you, and you go check. I had a client who actually I'm working with right now who had long COVID, and
Oh, wow.
long COVID, lost taste and lost smell
Mhm.
since 2019.
Wow.
She came in, I believe, the beginning of this year as a one of the cold calls that basically calls into the natural care clinic in Laurel, Maryland is where it's located. And basically, I took her on as a client, and from then we're like on the 8th treatment. She has now restored her sense of smell, very strong. We're still working on trying to get the sense of taste back in, but she can taste after the session. So I do taste tests with her eyes closed, and she's able to taste.
Right.
So we're just trying to make sure that is sustained and keep.
That is
But she gets
awesome.
all tearful and everything. She gets
Uh-huh.
emotional because it has
Since
restored.
2019, she hasn't tasted.
She hasn't tasted or smelled
Wow.
anything. So after COVID, she lost her sense of taste and smell. So you imagine going through life and trying to enjoy life without those two senses.
Yeah, that's terrible.
So well, yeah, it is, and most people only look at acupuncture or even massage for that matter. Yeah, thank you, Alexa. Okay. So yeah, make sure to drink water. Okay.
Oh,
So
that's a reminder.
that's a reminder. Yeah.
Make
Make sure to drink water. Okay, here we go. Here you go. But
He
most,
did it.
yeah, most people only come to massage or acupuncture as a last means because they've tried everything else. So they come for pain management. I said there's so much more. I said for massage, I get into unlocking things that I've had people cry on my table.
Mm-hmm.
So they have emotional things they've got locked into their muscles, and you don't have to believe in muscle memory.
Mm-hmm.
You eat,
Mm-hmm.
your stomach churns. What starts that? Your
Right.
brain doesn't start your stomach churning.
Right.
So that's the muscle automatically doing its job.
Mm-hmm.
So that's muscle memory. That's as simple as explained. And so I'm in that program until I graduate in August.
Mm-hmm.
And then also going on top of that, I'm going to continue to keep the gravy train going to finish up with all education with the doctorate continuation program in another school. The other school is in up above Philadelphia. Is called One Institute of Graduate Studies.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be taking their doctorate program asynchronously online, starting in the end of August, going into the end of July. And then I should have my acupuncture license in Maryland this year because it doesn't require the national certificate, national test. We have to take 4 tests. So after 4 tests, yeah, smart tests, by the way. Yeah, pray for me, okay? Because they're not cheap. They're like $300 plus.
Wow.
So yeah, so taking those tests.
Well, you can write those off later, can't you?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Just want to take. I only want to pay for one time.
Right. Exactly.
I do not want to pay for 2 tests on each one. So I'm going to be studying for 2 months on each one, and hopefully my schedule, the way I have myself scheduled out, I'll take my first test October. Last test will be in biomedicine will probably be around February of next year. And then once I've done that, then I'll apply for the license for Virginia and Maryland. So I plan to be licensed in Virginia, Maryland, and DC.
So will you be able to do this mobily like you do the massage?
I will. I
Oh,
will. I will carry all my materials with me. So for those that are looking for me, you can find me through Spirit Massage right now.
right,
Okay. We'll have a separate business name, but it will be a sister company of Spirit Massage.
right.
Think might be called Vital 365 Acupuncture and Herbs. Okay.
So you do herbs too?
It will. I will.
You will.
So
So you'll be an herbalist?
I'll be an herbalist as well, but not yet. Not yet.
Right,
Not
right,
yet.
right.
I got a lot on my plate. So when I finish when I'm almost finished with the fall semester, which will be the end of this year, then beginning the spring semester, I may or may not. I'll decide if what the course load is going to look like. If I decide to take on the herbal, start the uh, the schooling for herbs, which is about 2 years.
So is
So
that a natural thing that just comes with acupuncture, or is that just something that you decided you wanted to look into?
that actually is the complete package. So there's three things when people don't know about acupuncture because they're only familiar with the needles.
Mm,
So normally you have three, if you're over in China, Japan, or whatever, even Korea, they already use acupuncture, the needles. They use the burning of moxibustion, which is like a little moxa is like a little herb that they burn in, and basically either on the tip of the needle,
hmm.
or they may have a
That's
slice
what I
of
had.
like
Yeah.
like a slice of ginger or something on the
Hmm.
skin, and they burn the little cones. And it's not for the burning; it's the heat at certain points. And then the third component is orally or topical, which is the herbs.
Right.
Okay. So when people ask what came first, well, they really don't know. But I'm gonna take a stab and say my guess is food came first.
Right.
And from food came herbs which healed people.
Right.
And they're
Because
like,
you just dry the fruits,
yeah,
you pound them up just like you do with ginger
yep.
and turmeric. That's
And
what
then
my grandfather used to make a tea. Like we have sassafras growing in
mhm,
on my grandparents' property in Maryland, and he used to make this tea. And I don't know what else he put in it, but I know that people used to leave out of the house with these mason jars,
mm,
and their blood pressure was dropped. They didn't have to take their blood pressure medicine anymore
mm.
from my granddaddy.
And see, that's the beautiful part
Mm-hmm.
that I learned from an herbologist. Is I will say this, and you can take this with a grain of salt. Uh, how I explained all herbs is here's one thing that everybody knows: ginger. So if you took ginger from Korea and you took ginger in California, yes, they're both ginger, but the roots do not have the same
All right. Right.
properties
Mm-hmm.
because of where they were grown,
Right.
the climate, the soil, everything that helped them grow. So they're gonna have different properties. And let me take it a step further. You take those
Mm-hmm.
gingers now and you take that zone of where that person practices herbs. So like here in Virginia is out in this temperate environment, we practice and we eat certain things. We have certain things in our diet. Even though we have all this stuff on the internet, most people in the area eat relatively the same things in their diet. You go down south, you're gonna see more barbecue, you're gonna see gumbo, you're gonna see all the southern dishes and stuff. Up here, you don't see as much. Okay, so what happens is I'm go back to ginger. Okay, if a herbologist uses ginger here in a particular way, like you said with the jar and they have the mixture of the
Mm-hmm.
sassafras, right? That is a traditional. That's a tradition from it. It's not a herb formula like from traditional Chinese medicine. Each of these are different, like different channels. So it'd be like Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, whatever. Everybody has their own lane. And so in this one, I'm going to be doing traditional Chinese medicine with the hope of learning Northern American traditions because I have all kind of herb books with different formulas and stuff. And also, I would love to take a trip over to Africa to learn some of the ancient traditions of how they use herbs. And then that's going to culminate everything. Once I do that, then I have one small request from your audience, anybody who hears me talk about anything,
Mm-hmm.
is if I help you and we do something together and we have a breakthrough, you keep your mouth shut.
Right.
You keep it to yourself.
Right.
Now, some of you know what I mean when I say that.
Yes, we do.
And some of you who don't know what that means, I want you to just, you don't have to ask nobody. You come and go through Stacy, and you tag me, and then I'll tell you what that means in private. But if I help you, you shh.
Right.
Shh. That's it. I'm not saying don't spread the word and say, hey, he helped me.
Right.
But if I helped you specifically in a certain thing, there's certain words you don't use.
Exactly.
You don't use the C word,
I
which
know.
is a 4-letter word.
I know. We know this.
Okay.
We won't say it on YouTube.
You ain't gonna say it on YouTube.
We're not gonna say it.
Not gonna say it. It's not a curse word, but it's a curse word.
We know what it is.
Yeah.
We know what it is.
You don't use that word. And because if you do, you're gonna have a bunch of 3 letters coming after you.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
We're not even gonna talk about that.
No, we're not.
We're not gonna talk about that.
But I just had to put it out.
But I'm excited. I'm excited that you're into herbs like that, because it's my family. I always say my family was holistic before it was in style. You know, my father used to give me castor oil, raw honey when we were in Germany. My mom, every time she thought of something new or saw something new, we were the guinea pigs. So I've had the raw eggs and orange juice stuff back in, all that stuff. Eating ginger every day, a root. We actually grew it in our house. It's wonderful. I'm glad to know that somebody I know that is getting into that is into that as well, because it's so you can heal yourself.
Yes.
The
body does heal
itself. Well, but we're not going to talk about that.
But I'll tell you this much, just to be like, what inspired me was a story that my mother told me. I wrote about it in one of my books, but I'm gonna just give you the short version. Is my mother's cousin? My mother's uncle.
Right.
We don't know where he learned it from, but he was able to go out into the woods, grab a bunch of roots, and put some stuff together. He had a jar, a concoction, and there was a story about this little girl, a white little girl. It doesn't matter about the nationality, but in this case, it was down south. So there was the sugarcane fields and stuff like that, the sharecroppers, and then you had where all the black folks lived and stuff. So they knew this little girl was sick, and the doctors came to her, and she was like really getting worse. And so the father, of course, reached out to someone, a friend of my mother's uncle. So he went back out in the woods. He got a couple of things, put some stuff together, put a little jar, told him how to use the concoction, have her drink this in the morning, blah blah blah, and then keep her hydrated and stuff like that. Then drink on the hour, whatever the hours were. She drank that, and let's just say after a few days, she was dancing in like her regular self, like playing in the yard, like nothing ever happened. She went from bedridden to high fevers and stuff to like boom, all energy, all the stuff was gone in a couple of days, 2 to 3 days. So they were like, what do you do? What do you do? Now I'm gonna leave you in suspense about what happened next, but pretty much that's where the inspiration came from.
Oh, that's good. That's great. So I'm not gonna let you gloss over the fact that you said in one of my books. So how many books do you have?
Currently in the publication right now, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so tell us about your first book.
The first book came out was out of inspiration and desperation. It's my pseudonym or I should say my tagline name on social media, A Man of His Word, and that's what the actual name of the book is. It's A Man of His Word. It's not in print right now, but I promise you, I have a updated second edition that I'm going to be putting out between now and next year.
Okay.
on Amazon, and I'm gonna probably read it myself once I get all my.
You're gonna have an audiobook.
I'm gonna have an audio book,
Nice.
but I'm definitely gonna read this one.
Right.
I have other people I'm working with, but I'm definitely gonna read this one.
Right.
The poetry book, it's got a mix of poetry, different different styles, um, and also some narrative and some information about me as well.
Okay.
The second book is called A Pinch of Salt on the Edge of Apprehension. And it's a mix of drama and a little bit of computer sci-fi. So it's not a whole lot of computer. I don't want to give it that way, but yes, a little bit of AI kind of embedded, but not overtaken, not overpowered. It's more of a personal story of healing.
Gotcha.
And the third one that I just put out is under my pseudonym Michael Galen. Is called This Ain't It.
This ain't it. I
So
like that. I like that title.
it's a portrait collection that's going to be going through this next 4 years. So every quarter, I'm going to be trying to pump out another book. I'm working on the second edition right now. The first one is
it's
on
a living
Amazon.
document.
Yeah, it's a living document as we go through everything that's happening, how it affects me, how it affects other people,
Right.
what we live and learn throughout. Reach one, teach one. So if you can, always try to make something that you're educated entertaining, just like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
Just like
like
this.
this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you can reach somebody, teach somebody, and tell something,
Mm-hmm.
then they can't. They basically need to hear your voice. So that's what this is to hear your voice. Not just my voice, but other people's voices as well. Because a lot of people talk, they when it comes to the massage room,
Right.
oh, there's
The
confessions.
therapy session.
Oh, yeah. Like if you're in the back of a Lyft or Uber, you just got to talk it out because somebody ain't,
Yeah.
you ain't got nobody to talk to.
Yes, that definitely does happen.
I should have a massage room confessions book, too.
I become a therapist several times. And they want to know, like, you're never going to see me again. So can I just tell you this? I'm like, sure.
Right.
Sure.
I'm gonna tell you the biggest secret, and this is real.
Mm-hmm.
This is real. In the massage room, I learned over the years that in that room, and I make all the ladies laugh because they know this is true.
Uh-huh.
That they will confess whatever is going through to a stranger before they will a person who's close to them.
Oh, always.
So it doesn't matter if it's family, friend, or significant other. They're not going. It's a lockbox.
Yeah.
But to a stranger, you're more open because you have nothing to lose.
Right. Yeah.
You don't feel threatened because
Right.
they don't have anything on you, no ammo.
Right.
So they can't use what they know as bullets to fire at you.
Yeah. I learned that in my other business that I had. Remember the business I had years ago?
Yeah.
We were doing the parties.
Yeah.
They people would just tell me so much stuff, and I'm like, I don't really want to know that about you, but okay.
But anyway,
but I'm glad you got it off your chest.
Yeah.
I'm glad I could help.
Yeah.
So how many more books do you think you're gonna write?
Well, This Ain't It is gonna be 16.
Wow.
So
this is gonna be a paperback or is it a hard copy?
It's paperback. Right now it's paperback. The formats I'm gonna plan on shooting out for each book is paperback. Actually, if I can get Amazon to work with it, I want hardcover too.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for paperback, hardcover, ebook, and audio.
Nice.
So those 4.
Nice.
But right now, I have paperback, ebook, and I'm still working on trying to find the right person to read the audio until I'm set up. So yeah, it's going to be a book per quarter because I'm working on the second one now.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have another book that is kind of like on the back burner, but according to a couple of friends, they want me to really crank it up because they want it. And I'm like, because I was letting them read the stories before I publish anything.
Right.
So they were like, oh, when's the next chapter? I'm like, it don't work like that.
I have written down, I wrote down a couple of the, when you let me look at it.
Yeah.
There was a couple I wrote down that I was like, yep, I could definitely resonate with a couple of them. I can't even
The
think.
poetry or the?
It was poetry.
Okay.
It was poetry, and I was like, I've got to let you know. I'll let you know in our next session
Okay.
which one it was.
This recent one with this ain't it?
Yeah,
Okay.
from what you sent me the PDF.
Okay, yes. That
Yeah,
was this ain't it. Yeah.
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 I saw that. There was a couple of things in there. I was like, oh, I like this.
Yeah. It's that book, let me just say, is broken down right now. The second one may be different because it depends. I was looking, I was using the word stress, and
Mm-hmm.
I said, what stresses people out the most right now? And it said, okay, people are really getting stressed out about politics, philosophy, religion. And then someone else, I said, what about what? I said, what? If, it's kind of like if you start a conversation, you start the friction. And so somebody else said, you might as well throw sports in there too. And I
Yeah.
said, well, I'm not really into sports, but I can feel that
Right.
because when like you have that conversation between two enthusiasts, who's the GOAT in basketball, and it's all over. Is it LeBron or
Or a
is it Michael
cowboy and
Jordan?
Washington Commanders fan
Oh yeah,
all day,
all
all.
day, all day. So we could have. I don't know if I want to how I would do that in poetry because that would be challenging.
Yeah.
But the that was something that I might throw in the second one
Right.
because football season is coming,
Right.
and the second series is to be available. The second book is to be available on Amazon. Let me see. I said per quarter, so I just released this first one in March, so that was actually
Didn't you have a trailer for that?
I did.
So can you tell them? I'm going to link it down below because I know you sent me a
Okay.
link. So, but tell them verbally.
So the easiest way is to hit the landing page, and no, it's not a picture of me. I'm
And the
just got
landing page is
landing
where?
is on TAI, so that's Tango Alpha India .mwmediagroup.net.
Okay.
So that's the landing page. So that'll take you. So when you see that picture on there, you're not going to see this face.
Uh huh.
Just know that that's my Michael Galen face.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
Your alter ego.
Yeah, my alter ego. Okay. And for the mystery book, it is not going to be me on this face.
Uh huh.
I haven't picked the name yet of what my pseudonym for the mystery book is going to be, but that's going to be a female name.
Okay. All right.
Okay, because I it's going to be my alter ego. No, I'm not schizophrenic, but but
Right.
these are my alter egos. I have to get in a different mode with each one.
Yeah, but you know, it's just like songwriting. I mean, Babyface writes songs for women all the time. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean that he's schizo.
No, no, I got
So
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
my people are pretty open minded.
Just dynamic.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
just
are.
being dynamic.
They are. They
Yeah.
are. So this has been awesome. Is there anything else you want to tell us about yourself?
Well, I'm in school a lot. Everybody's like, Melvin, you're gonna be in school forever. I said, no, I'm not. I'm graduating with my I forgot what you call this ceremony.
The
But
com-
the commencement.
commencement.
So the commencement is in Baltimore for this degree, for the master's degree in May 18th, I believe. So if you're interested in joining me there, let me know through
Okay.
Stacy. Commencement for the following, I don't know with the doctorate. That'll be in 2026. Um, you can join the reading list through the same landing page I just gave you with the tai.mwmediagroup.net. And then I can keep you abreast of any upcoming events or announcements. Um, for myself in the future, the what it holds is I hope to help people as much as I can. What I plan on doing with the acupuncture business is initially what I'm going to start off with once I get my Virginia license, like you were talking about with mobile,
Hmm.
is I will be getting with you as well on your previous business idea.
Right.
I'm gonna open that one. I'm gonna open that crypt up in a different way.
Sweet.
So what I'm gonna be doing is, for your viewers,
Hmm.
is I'm gonna be doing group sessions
Right.
here in this office as well as in other. So if you have another office you would like to do
Hmm.
some of the ear acupuncture protocols, and we'll be doing the ear at first, and then eventually I'm going to do some webinars, and I'll
What
keep
is
you
an
abreast.
ear
So
protocol?
needles. So NADA is the protocol. We use 5 needles
Mm-hmm.
in the ear at specific points